Hey everyone, Professor Leis here. In this video, I'm going to explain how to interpret the rubric for major essay project number 1. So I'm going to send, or I will have sent each of you your individual rubric for your essay in a private message through Canvas. So when you open it up in Google Docs, the file name will be your first name, major essay project number 1 rubric. Okay, so that will correspond with your specific essay. So you'll notice that it's a big table, and there are different categories in that table. So the first row shows you how to interpret it. So the first little box here is the criteria, so that refers to everything under that column. So the first criterion is title, introduction, and conclusion. The next criterion is focus and organization. The third one is connections, critical thinking, and analysis. Then we have attention to writing quality and style. And then finally, format and essay particulars. So at the top, again, we have the different levels of effectiveness. So we have exceptional, ready, revised, not ready yet, and unacceptable. Now, unacceptable, just to clarify this, there's only some aspects of it that will refer to your essay or anyone's essay. Generally, this is a column reserved for people who either didn't even write the essay or submit the essay, or maybe it's drastically lacking in addressing the challenges for the project. So a note of revise, not ready yet, I want to remind everyone, doesn't correspond with a grade necessarily. It just means that there's something in the essay that needs to be addressed in order to make it more effective or to make it adequately address the challenges laid out in the prompt, right? An essay that has a note of ready means that the student has met the challenges of the essay, but there's some elements in there that could be improved with another revision. And so that in this case, the student has the option of revising, say if they want to try to make it an exceptional piece of writing. If you do have a note of revise not ready yet, you don't have that option. You need to revise and submit another revision in order to adequately address the challenges in the prompt. Now, a note of exceptional means that the student has not only addressed all the challenges laid out in the prompt, but they've gone above those challenges. They've surpassed all those expectations. It's very clear that the student has worked really hard on the essay, and they've taken great care in trying to make it an exceptional piece of writing. It stands out above the rest. Now, everybody has the ability to transform their essay into an exceptional piece of writing. So say if you have a note of revise not ready yet, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad piece of writing. As I mentioned, it doesn't correspond with a grade. It just means that I want you to focus on something specific with a revision, okay? But you don't have the option. You need to revise it. But say you submit that revision and you've not only addressed the challenges laid out in the prompt, but you've surpassed them, then when I assess it again, it could be an exceptional piece of writing. So everybody has that ability to reach that particular level of effectiveness. So in your individual rubrics, what I did to indicate which characteristic matches your essay, I've just put that characteristic in bold. So if you're going through your rubric and you notice the things in bold, that means it corresponds with your specific draft. Now, I understand that rubrics are not perfect. So if you see something like, for example, this characteristic says conclusion is uninventive. That could sound kind of like, oh, I thought I was being inventive with my conclusion. That's just the characteristic I put there. It doesn't necessarily mean the conclusion is terrible or that you're not an inventive writer. It just means that we need to work on that conclusion a little bit more to make sure that we're addressing the challenges laid out in the prompt and really to make it a more effective piece of writing, right? So don't take anything personally if you think of it as kind of like a negative critique of your writing. Okay, so like I said, I understand that the rubric is not perfect, but it does offer some guidance. Okay, so you'll go through and pay attention to which characteristics are in bold. Again, that means that that's the one that matches your essay as close as possible. Now, some of them may not actually be relevant in this case. So the prompt for Major Essay Project 1 didn't stipulate that you needed to include outside sources or quotations, but that was something that you could choose to do. And so if your essay didn't have any quotations in it, I may have clicked one. Any quotations are integrated effectively. If your essay didn't have any quotations in it, I may still have clicked that just because, to not leave anything blank. Okay, I understand that this could be a little bit of a challenge to interpret, and so if you have any questions, please reach out to me on Canvas. I'm happy to address your questions and clarify. I think that's all I have to say. All right, everyone.